Let's talk about the Gear 5 episode. So, the episode is called Luffy's Peak Attained, Gear 5. Okay, Gear 5 episode. I'm expecting to see a lot of Gear 5. We get past the intro, and let's just get straight into it. In total, in the episode, there are 9 minutes and 20 seconds of Gear 5 content. And of that 9 minutes and 20 seconds, a minute and 20 seconds of it is reused scenes from the same episode. We see the sequence of Luffy bouncing around and shit 3 times, and we see the sequence of Luffy bouncing around and then powering up twice back to back. Why do we need to see this so much? We get it. He's happy, he's bouncy, he rubber, he joy boy. We don't need to see this so many times, especially back to back. Outside of the Gear 5 stuff, we get 10 minutes and 20 seconds of content, including cutaways to where everybody is on the island, flashbacks, people's reaction to Luffy, the Gorosei talking about Luffy, and then Hiyori talking to Orochi for 5 minutes and 50 seconds straight, no interruptions. The longest straight Gear 5 stuff we got in this episode was 3 minutes and 35 seconds. We get more Hiyori in the episode titled Luffy's Peak Attained Gear 5 than we actually see Luffy's Peak Attained Gear 5 straight. If we want to be unfair and add cut-ins and shit like that to give Luffy a bit of leeway in his own episode, we get 5 minutes and 23 seconds straight of Gear 5 stuff, which is still 27 seconds less than what Hiyori got in the Gear 5 episode. That's not my only problem with it. Look, I'm a One Piece fan. I read the manga. I'm fucking caught up, man. I know what Gear 5 is supposed to look like. I know it's goofy. I get the sound effects. I get the look of it. But man, do these sound effects really need to be this extra? Like, bro. Why do we need to hear this sound effect for Kaido being swung around? Imagine this, right? I know it's not the same, but imagine we get Goku fighting whoever, and when he starts swinging them around, we hear a motherfucking Tom and Jerry sound effect every single 360-degree rotation. Like, nigga, what? Luffy has done shit like this before. Why do we need sound effects for it now? I get it, Gear 5. Are the sounds coming from Gear 5? Is it just like his movements now create sound effects? I get it. I'm being a dickhead. Like, oh, it's just goofy. You're thinking about it too much. Yeah, I will think about it too much. I'm watching this shit. Like, the fuck? There's also this weird inconsistency with the audio when Luffy is laughing here. You can hear him laughing. You can see him hitting the ground, but you can't hear him hitting the ground. We can, however, hear him clapping his feet together. Why are we not hearing everything in this sequence? It seems a little weird to me, especially because like we could just add some little to the ground or something. Any y'all do all this sound effects. Y'all pulling out the soundboard for him turning and shit. Y'all can't put a little car horn or something when he hits the ground. Like, look here, I'll fucking do it for you. Was that hard? No. Also, the whole sequence of Luffy seeing the blast breath and redirecting it just looks bad. And everybody's like, oh, goofy animation, haha, it's supposed to be goofy. I get it. It's supposed to be goofy. That doesn't mean get lazy. Like, nigga, these are smears of white and purple and yellow on my screen. This is not Gear 5. His build up to the reaction looks awful. I don't know why this nigga looks like a fucking paper towel getting blown in the wind. I don't know why we can see his gums so fucking much. I'm not a fucking dentist. I'm a loser. I'm watching One Piece. I'm not doing my 9 to 5 in the dental industry. Just look at these frames and tell me you can make them out to be Monkey D. Luffy. And then this nigga grabs his eyes, shoves them back into his head, which for some reason sends him spinning into the sky, at which point he then grabs the ground, starts pulling himself towards it while doing the fucking moonwalk on some Michael Jackson shit. Like, what is this? Yeah, no, I definitely don't see Michael Jackson here. And what the fuck is this crackhead ass moment where he like uncovers his face and he starts looking around and shit? Why? They really overdid it with this one, man. Like him stumbling around, turning into a napkin, turning into just a ball of white. Like, what is this nigga, hypersonic? Like, this episode, I did not really like this episode. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I did not watch 1,070 episodes waiting for Gear 5 to be animated for it to look like this. I know a lot of motherfuckers will be like, oh, you're just nitpicking. Oh my god, it's goofy. It literally embodies Joy Boy. Da 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 da. I don't fucking care, man. I like how it happened in the manga. It was more subtle. It was funnier. Here it's just so extra. Like the pacing sucked. The Hiyori conversation in the manga was like 3 pages and the rest was like Gear 5 shit. Here the Hiyori conversation gets more screen time straight than Gear 5 does, which is a problem in the episode literally being called Luffy's new peak attained Gear 5. Why are we seeing more Hiyori than Gear 5? I don't know, man. I hear that next episode it's gonna be better. It's gonna be like just straight fucking fighting, no cuts, no fucking flashbacks, no nothing like this episode had. It's just gonna be hands, nigga, and I'm all down for that. So I wanted to get my reaction on this. Here's to hoping the next episode is better.